Hello and welcome to this special culture show. We're taking you outdoors to discover or rediscover some of the most stunning gardens France has to offer, starting here in Giverny. It was designed by Impressionist painter Claude Monet. This is a piece of art in itself, famous for its rectangular clos normand with its archway of climbing plants, as well as its water garden and Japanese bridge. Claude Monet first discovered the village of Giverny, some 80 kilometers away from Paris, while he was on a train ride. By 1890, he gathered enough money to buy a house and some land. He lived here until he died, and it's where he painted some of his best-known masterpieces, such as the Nymphéa. Monet had found the tranquility, lights and colours he was looking for to express his art. Nowadays, the venue attracts more than 500 visitors a year from all over the world. And of course, the garden is a must-see. It has inspired many landscape architects and gardeners. One of them is a lawyer who decided to establish himself in the Ain area in the southeast of the country. There, he pursues his passion for plants and even won a prestigious prize for his work. France's most beautiful garden of the year. William Hildebrand has the story.
Roses, perennials, fruit trees, and more. It may sound like an ordinary garden, but it's not. 2 hectares of land abutting the Château de Saint-Bernard in eastern France. It was named this year's Garden of the Year. Recognition of Gilles Briand's hard work. When he bought the chateau 15 years ago, it was little more than ruins. But through a labor of love, he renovated the buildings and transformed the grounds. A photo of the land from the year 2000 and a look at it today. Gilles most proud of his labyrinth of apple and pear trees.
We have 400 saplings on less than 2,000 square meters. Oops, we have to go back the other direction. The idea about a labyrinth is that sometimes you get lost.
Technique fit for a king. This method of pruning dates back to Louis XIV. Gilles picked it up from the former head gardener of the Château de Versailles.
We started with just a few small trees, and here you go, look at the outcome, it's really quite amazing.
Together they developed plots with themes such as witches. Alongside his gardener, once or twice a week, Gilles cultivates his passion because his career as a lawyer leaves little time for his green thumb.
When you work in a city, in an office, it completely transforms your life to start paying attention to trees, the seasons, the weather. Not only to know whether you need a raincoat or not, it's so you know whether your garden will flourish under good conditions, that it's nourished. All this, it gives you a different life.
Full of seeds of wisdom, Gilles plans to use the grounds as a place to train amateur gardeners.
What if old and new were brought together to create an extraordinary cultural mix? Well, that's precisely the aim at the Chamarande estate near Paris. The 17th century castle, renowned for its gardens, hosts contemporary art exhibitions. Julien Muncer and William Hildebrand got the chance to visit Chamarande for us.
A transformation from garden to gallery. Pieces of contemporary art planted on the 18th century Chamarande grounds. An organic mix of something old and something new.
This piece by Liliana Mota was installed in May. It's set just before the trees. It calls on the visitor to enter a new environment, the forest. Today, Chamarande is in the fields of contemporary art and sustainable development. And I think the uniqueness of this place, a remarkable and historic garden alongside contemporary art, has a surprising effect on visitors.
Pieces are hidden across the garden, some next to the castle, others deep in the forest. Purveying art becomes something of a treasure hunt, never knowing what's around the next corner such as this. Rise, an imaginary village in the trees created by Etienne de France.
It's about fantasy, about resistance and freedom, through its materials, and the fact that it's not easy to access. They're all connected up high in a forest on an island, two places perfect for this experiment. The wood was cut on site. That's one of the advantages of this place. Artists get to work in different conditions than in Paris. As Parisians, we don't always realize there is meaningful art full of possibilities that isn't far away from the city.
In all, there are 17 different installations spread across the sprawling grounds. Free admission to the public, 98 hectares of open-air art, making for a more interesting walk in the park.
Giverny is certainly one of France's most celebrated gardens, along with the Tuileries. Located between the Champs-Élysées and the Louvre, it was designed by King Louis XIV's favourite gardener, André Le Nôtre. This year marks the 400th anniversary of his birth, so we take a closer look at the Tuileries, one of his key architectural projects, and the tough challenges it now faces. Julia Seeger tells us more.
Located at the heart of Paris, between the prestigious Louvre Palace and the sumptuous Avenue des Champs-Élysées, the Tuileries Garden is a peaceful place to rest. It stretches out over 23 hectares of greenery, planted with a great variety of trees and flowers. Every year, tourists from all over the world discover this not-so-hidden garden.
After visiting the Louvre Museum, it's nice to come and relax here.
The Tuileries Garden, however, has become a victim of its immense popularity. The famous landscaper who designed the garden some 400 years ago, André Le Nôtre, never imagined his creation would one day welcome 14 million visitors each year, as well as large-scale events. Huge crowds stroll through the park every day, crushing the coating of the alleys, a mixture made out of whitewash, gravel and sand, called stabilizer.
Commercial events have been taking place in the Tuileries Gardens for the last 25 years. It's a tragedy. The comings and goings of trucks used to set up events 120 days out of the year are damaging the stabilized gravel.
What people are saying is that it's expensive to take care of monuments, so they need to be profitable. That's true, but how far should we go in that direction?
The dust created by the white gravel is a serious matter for the Louvre Palace and the Orangerie, where Monet's paintings, the Nymphias, are exposed.
It's not dirty, it's just from the gravel.
Monet's paintings are cleaned once a week by a professional company to get rid of the white particles, which come in from visitors' shoes and from the air conditioning system. The Louvre Museum, which is in charge of the garden, has suggested to reduce the gravel by extending green areas. But the project would cost 15 million euros and would go against the architect's original plan of a mineral promenade.
We are now at the water lily pond where Claude Monet painted his famous Nympha, and this is where our journey ends. We leave you with the king of all gardens, Versailles, and its nighttime fountain show. See you soon.